everybody, Big Daddy Biggs, West Louisiana Bee Farm. We're going to look at a few hives today. It's about 57 degrees, and some of these I haven't opened all winter. Matter of fact, this first one, I've only peeked inside. I've never moved a frame or anything. Let me just turn this around. And this thing made it through the hurricanes and everything. And it only had, starting off the winter, back in September, I guess. I call that winter. It's not really winter, but sorry, my smoker is kind of killing me right now. Can't imagine what it's doing to the bees. Anyway, I wanted to check this box out. Like I said, it started in September with just 2 frames that were, I had a lot of empty frames in here that I just put, they were junk frames from last year's harvest or whatever. And I put 2 frames from a split in here, and we're going to see what it did. So, they're still only about 3 frames back. They do have a frame here that they're working on, it looks like. And like I said, all these frames are going to have comb on them, but they haven't been inhabited like by the bees, especially like this. And I'm just kind of looking to see how things are going, see if we have any eggs or anything. I'm seeing a lot of pollen. I'm not seeing any drones on this. I'm not seeing any kind of brood in here at all. At least not yet. Let's put this one back. Go for number 2. Oops, I'm going backwards. Oh yeah, we got some brood here. Capped root, there's queen. More brood on this side. And we're probably going to start making splits in within the next 2 weeks. Okay, they don't have enough nectar or honey in here yet for me to really get excited about making splits. I want to pull this very first one out and just see if there's anything going on with it yet. It's light. They're all really light, so they're not bringing in any amount of nectar yet. Now, I'm not going to feed them. I've made my decision last year. I put 1 jar of feed on them when I put them in here, and they sucked it down pretty quick. Yeah, that one's totally empty. And I said, I'm gonna see if they'll make it through the year, through the winter. They haven't made it yet, and there's almost nothing in here, but they are laying, so they know what they're doing. I feel like, anyway. So we're just gonna let them keep on doing what they're doing and see if they make it. If they do make it, it's gonna be a good strong hive, I believe. And it's going to prove to me that some of these genetics in here are worth duplicating. Let me get all these frames back up here together. Get some of these squished up. I'll be back on the next hive. Okay, so here's the next hive. And this is going to be partly top bar, partly, it's going to be like a Tanzanian top bar Langstroth hybrid. Because this year I hope to make it a fully top bar hive. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, got the lid off. As you can see, we've got frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the rest of it is top bars. Now, I made this hive, I dated this one, 5/4/2020. Let's see. And I just want to point this out. Anytime you're working with making a conversion like this, you know where the last frame of comb should be, but they could be already building back here. So go back a few behind where you think they could be have already expanded to, and pull that frame out. Do it slowly, kind of see what you got going on underneath. We're good. I've already looked under there and they haven't expanded any yet, which I didn't think they would, but you always want to be safe. Better safe than sorry. So let me hit them again with some smoke, and I'm gonna get this thing propped up, maybe so you can see. Got a little weight on this one, got a little capped honey on it. Now this hive went into winter with 4 frames that they had built out. It was a 2-frame walkaway split last year, and over the summer, before the cool weather kicked in, they had built out a couple of frames. I had a couple of empty frames on here. They built them out. Boy, this one's kind of heavy too. Turn it around where you can see. Got a good little bit of honey on it. No drones, no queen. Very small bees too. And on the back side we have honey. So these I am not concerned with at all. All this is capped honey. Put it back in here. No brood yet, but I bet there's brood on this frame right here. Yep, there's brood. I don't see any drones. I'm not seeing the queen on this side. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized y'all can't see. My bad. I'll roll it around. More brood, more capped honey. No drones. I don't see the queen here either. I'm going to move it for just a second. Get kind of a better look at this thing. I see some eggs. Queen must be hiding today. I'm not seeing any brood on here. Not even eggs from what I can see. So I know she's not on this frame. Pretty sure she's not. Oh, no. I stand corrected, y'all. There she is. Can you see her? She's right here. So let's put this back. If I jump in a minute, I got bees going up my shirt on the inside. Alright, that's good for this one. And we're going to put it back together and go to the next. This one right here is my favorite. Reason being, this was my very first colony. I transferred them into a long Langstroth. Sorry, I can't talk today. Transferred them into a long Langstroth the next year after I got them. And it's just been one booming colony. Splitting off of it several times to make my apiary. Let's get into it. So I've got the lid off. This past year, I did the conversion on it and got it completed. So they should be, last time I was in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is where they ended off, on the 12th bar. We're going to see where they're at today. You see how I skipped one? So they're not making comb just yet. This is from last year, late in the season. Y'all, I just love the way the comb they make in these Tanzanian style top bars. You're about to see what I mean. And that's all empty comb. And that's not even a full comb. Oh, we got some bees on it. And they have, I don't know if you can see this or not, they have a couple of capped cells of honey. So they're starting to bring in some stuff. We're not going to go real deep into this hive. I'm not going to look for the queen. I'm not really concerned about this colony right here. I'll be honest with you. I just like to open them up and look around. I think they are so amazing. Look at that. Golly. God's creatures are so freaking incredible. Even us humans. And you saw how I flipped it wrong? You're not supposed to do that. Look, they're bringing in some serious nectar. This February, like February 7th, I believe. All that right there, all that capped stuff, it's all honey. I need to get some comb out of there. I broke it off the last time I was in here. So it's on the bottom. If you're not careful when you're doing these Tanzanian top bars, this is why a lot of people don't do them at all, is because you have to be careful. And you do have to be careful. They attach it to the side just like they do in a Kenyan top bar. Some people say it's worse on this. It may not be worse. It may just be that the combs are so heavy that it just breaks off a little more easily if you're not careful. If you're careful and you want to be a more natural, more into the natural beekeeping, more sustainable, I guess, this is the top bar way of doing it. I love top bars. Gosh. Could actually harvest this one for honey, except that it's got a little bit of brood on it. I'm going to set it up here where you can see. Check that out. All honey. And it's like that on the other side too. Are you getting a good look at that? I'm not looking for the queen, so if you see her, drop a comment. This is the third frame of this hive with bees on it. Say, hey, I saw it on the third frame, man. Flip it around now. Look at that. That's all honey. It's going to be a good year. If you're not into beekeeping, why? Forgive me while I take a minute to kind of get a better look at it. Okay. Kind of fitting tight this time. That's another disadvantage, I think, to the now you probably can't see what I'm doing. Let me put the camera over here where you can see. I'm going to go down kind of the edge of this thing because they have reattached it. And they did it on both sides. I'm not going to show you this other side because I'm kind of doing acrobats to get to it. Acrobatics. I think I got it freed up. But you got to kind of run your hive tool around a little bit to free them up sometimes. But what I was saying, another disadvantage, if you want to call it that, to the Tanzanian top bars, and I'm going to tell you some disadvantages, but I'm also going to tell you that some advantages, there are some advantages to this over the Langstroth, and I'll get into that, maybe not in this video, but at another date. I don't know, I may get into it on this one. Holy smokes. Beautiful. Good little patch of brood on this thing. And it looks like all stages. So I'm gonna check it out real good for a queen. And these girls need a little smoke on them. Got brood on both sides. Let me do this. I'm gonna set her down. Pump a little misty smoke on them. They get a little upset. And we're gonna look at this brood here. I'm gonna show it to you. They have done covered it up. There it is on this side. You can see it now. Maybe you can see down in those cells. I'm not seeing any drones yet, and I'm not even seeing any. Of course, I hadn't been looking on this hive. I'm not seeing any drone brood yet, not in here. She's kind of far back in the hive laying brood. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th frame back. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna put this one back together. And maybe we'll look at another one. So here's how you flip them. You go this way and this way, and I'm pretty sure that's how I got it out. Try to keep them the same. Keeps the bees from getting lost and confused in the hive. Maybe one more. One of the disadvantages that I was going to maybe or maybe not talk about, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. If you don't cut these bars exactly right, it'll cause you problems. If you don't make sure that your cuts are exactly right all the way around, this thing has to fit like kind of like a glove. And you don't want to have different size bars in different boxes. Yeah, I just probably about to get stung, y'all. I'm pretty sure I just squished a few, and that doesn't make them very happy. Let's see. Found the queen. She is right there. My goodness, they are testy. And she is such a pretty queen. Make sure y'all can see her. Lots of brood on this one, y'all. Lots of brood. This hive's going to be a bumper of a hive again this year. So proud of this hive. Colony. So proud of this colony. So, I wasn't setting out to find the queen in this one, but we found her. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this one up. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to put these are 2 5-frame nukes, got 1 colony in it, and we're going to put them in this long Langstroth Tanzanian top bar. May not convert it this year, but that's what we're doing next. Alright, I tried to find the best place to put the my phone so that you guys could see what was going on. I'll try not to get in the way too much. This is a box I haven't been in. I think I popped the lid on it one time this winter. The last time I was in it was in August after Hurricane Laura came through, and some of my long hives and some of my Langstroth hives that didn't have the ceramic tile tops, they lost their lids. I think this might have been one of them, because I had just recently been in it before the storm and they had not propolized it. Well, they sure got it propolized now, don't they? Oh, this is going to be a good one. They're all up here in the top. Let me go get my frame grabber. Right, just right over here. In my opinion, I'm going to get on the other side. In my opinion, this jewel right here, it's handy, but it's one of the disadvantages of having a Langstroth only hive. First frame is really hard for me to get out of the box. Little brood over here. I don't know how long my smoker is going to be able to keep going, I'm probably not going to show you every frame, just the really cool ones, really interesting ones. More brood. February 7th. We're getting some pretty heavy brood things happening here. No queen yet. They still got plenty of food in this hive. And they're cross combing a little bit in here. It's not bad. Here's the queen. She's right there, going to the other side. And just like that, I lose her. Oh, I see her. She's up on the edge. Back to the other side. Well, she's playing peekaboo. Can you see her? So let's get her in there. All right, we're going to do the rest of this kind of quick. There's bees all the way down, too. And even with the ones that had climbed up my shirt, I know I'm about to jinx myself. I haven't gotten stung today. So tell me again why you're not a beekeeper yet. I read an article back last year about the, I don't know if this is true, okay? I don't know how accurate this is. Because over the last year, I've read a lot of stuff. But they said that the Wuhan beekeepers that were tested around Wuhan for COVID back when the outbreak was kind of young, but it was already really bad over in China, in Wuhan especially. That every one of them that tested positive for COVID had little to no symptoms. It's the internet, okay, I get it. But I'm gonna tell you, I myself contracted COVID, and they say what what they felt like was the reason why that they showed very little to no symptoms. What had nothing to do with their blood type or any of that other stuff that you probably read. But they said that it was likely because of the bee venom in the stings. Well, I contracted COVID back in July, and I know this is a very scientific study that I'm about to tell you about, but I've been stung by many, many bees in my beekeeping. And although I did have a few symptoms, they were extremely mild. I'm not telling you this just to get you into beekeeping. I'm telling you because it was my valid experience, and I'm just comparing it to the article. May or may not have anything to do with it. I realize that. and I know everybody reacts differently. And but I personally contribute because I know the health benefits surrounding not only the honey, but the bee stings. Well, this one's tight fitting in here, and it's very, very propolised. But I know the health benefits of beekeeping in general. And I just squished one of the girls. They're not going to be happy with me. So I do attribute my no symptoms to possibly the bee venom that's in my blood. Now, I caught the COVID from my 84-year-old mother, and she's not a beekeeper. So take it for what it's worth. I mean, you can read a lot of stuff online. I may have gotten my limited immunity. She didn't have any symptoms. She had a little bit of fever, and it was so minor that we had a hard time convincing her that she was sick. Anyway, that's my COVID story. You want to share yours? I'd like to hear about it, especially if you're a beekeeper. I'd really like to hear about it and hear how your body reacted to the COVID. I'm glad I got that one out finally. Ain't that something? Full in the top, empty in the bottom. Well, not empty, but I got an empty frame in the bottom. Interesting. Not too many bees down in this one. I didn't expect them to be. Kind of what the bees do, and we'll give you a little education. They start the winter off, for the most part, down in the bottom of your colony. And all of this was more than likely full of honey at the beginning of the winter, the colder months. So they cluster up in the bottom, and they start eating there, and they eat to survive, yes, but they also ingest a lot of calories to help keep the queen warm. They'll warm their own bodies with the calories. It's just the way God made them. And then in that process, they'll keep the inside of the hive warm just in the area where they're at, so that they can keep the queen alive. They can keep the little bit of brood that she lays throughout the winter to keep the process, to keep the colony going, and to help build up the numbers for for spring. And as they use up the stores, they'll move to a new frame. And they start in the bottom, and then they'll move their way up to the top eventually. Boy, this is... I just broke that frame. And it's not much comb on it either. Trying to remember what I did. Apparently I just put some blank frames in there and told them good luck for the winter. My gosh. Now, if you do something like this, I'm transferring the colony to another location about 2 feet away at the very most, about 2 feet. And it's probably, they're going to have a hard time finding it at first. So to help them, to help encourage them not to come to this location, I'm about to move this box completely away from here so that they will smell her in here more than her in there. Savvy? That's the last frame, y'all. And that's how I'm going to finish this off. By moving this box out of here, the bees will come back to this location. And they're going to buzz around and say, hey, who moved our house? And then they'll catch a whiff of her. This has got a screen bottom in it. That'll help kind of get the odor going her or going this direction. And they'll find their way. So let's dump these bees in here and be done with this. Still a few in there, but I'm going to carry it over here. And then I'm going to scrape some propolis off of it. I'm going to bottle that stuff up, and we're going to be done. Y'all like and share the video. If you don't mind, leave a comment. Tell me your COVID story down in the bottom. Yeah, I know. YouTube doesn't like COVID stories and stuff like that. We don't care about that here. Y'all have a good day. Love you. God loves you.